Having left Arsenal back in the summer of 2016, Serge Gnabry has gone from strength to strength, scoring goals for fun, winning Bayern the Champions League and growing into a world-class player. But with only 1 year left on his current Bayern contract, has he today hinted at an Arsenal return? Also, what's the latest on Smith Rowe and Tomiyasu, and what has happened today in the race for Champions League football? Yo, what is going on, guys? My name is Bavs14. Welcome back to your boys channel. It is a day after another stupendous dub for Arsenal Football Club, so smash a like if you enjoy the content, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and help your boy on his road to 80,000 subscribers. But let's get into the Arsenal news, and starting off with Serge Gnabry. The mere mention of Serge Gnabry to Arsenal fans, it brings back memories of a player that got away. Leaving back in 2016, a lot of Arsenal fans back then kind of knew that this guy was going to be that guy and were very disappointed that Arsenal allowed him to leave in the first place. And since then, this guy has excelled, going to Hoffenheim, going to Bayern Munich and winning the Champions League, becoming a world-class player, a German starting international. He's now 26, turning 27 in July, and he is the definition of the complete modern-day winger. Not only is he excel when it comes to scoring goals, but the expected assist metrics, the pass completion, the dribbles completed, progressive passes. Serge Gnabry has everything in the back. But why am I, an Arsenal-based channel, talking about a player firing at Bayern Munich? Well, of course, you cannot deny the Arsenal links when it comes to Serge Gnabry. Whether it's him a couple years ago saying in an interview, once a Gooner, always a Gooner, or him posting a photo of him training in the Arsenal away kit back in 2020. Serge Gnabry has made it clear on numerous occasions that he is still a massive fan of Arsenal Football Club. And today he's added further fuel to the fire, posting a photo of him in an Arsenal retro shirt on his official social media accounts, with the caption being "throwbacks everywhere" in this one. Not only is he an ex-Arsenal player, he's an Arsenal fan, he's got Arsenal friends. It shouldn't be a surprise that he's posting photos in an Arsenal shirt. But then again, the timing of the post is very interesting, because as things stand, Serge Gnabry is going through a massive contract dispute, with his current contract set to expire in 2023, meaning as it stands, he only has 1 year left on his Bayern Munich contract. And on the potential renewal, according to reports in Germany, Bayern bosses remain convinced that Serge Gnabry will extend his contract, but there's still a difference over the salary. So far, there's been no reapproachments, and it's unknown whether further talks can take place. It's said the chances of renewing are 50-50. When a world-class player like Serge Gnabry only has 1 year left on his contract, the fact that he has always loved Arsenal Football Club, he's made no secret of that, and then he goes and posts a photo of him wearing an Arsenal shirt, you can kind of understand why Arsenal fans just get a little bit excited. But who cares about photos? Let's talk some logic here. Arsenal are a team right now that are potentially on the verge of Champions League football. It is not secured yet, but it's definitely possible. And spending over £100 million in the last transfer window, the highest spent of any team out of Europe, Arsenal have money to spend and they will spend it. If Arsenal were to get Champions League football, this is the potential benefit. You can then go and attract a world-class player like Serge Gnabry, who of course wants to play in the Champions League. And even Mikel Arteta has recently said on Arsenal summer transfer plans, now is the moment that we have to raise the quality. Last year when Arsenal signed Aaron Ramsdale and Ben White, Martin Odegaard, these are all players under the ages of 23, and what they were they were to raise the floor of his Arsenal team. But now that the first team floor has been raised and Arsenal have become once again a top 6 club, what Mikel Arteta means by an increase in quality is world-class additions, players that would give Arsenal an extra instant quality. Forget about the word potential. When you sign players with quality and world-class quality, these players hit the ground running straight away. And that is the definition of Serge Gnabry, a player not only at the peak of his powers, he has conquered football at Bayern Munich. He is at the top of his game, and if he was to come to Arsenal, he raises the quality level, the ceiling of his Arsenal team. But then again, Arsenal do have Bukayo Saka, we have Gabriel Martinelli, we have Martin Odegaard, so a lot of fans will ask the question of where does a Serge Gnabry fit in? If Arsenal were to secure Champions League football, the next step isn't just to solidify it, it's to compete for the highest and biggest trophies, and if you want to do that, you have to have a competitive squad. Adding Serge Gnabry to this Arsenal team will only improve the likes of Bukayo Saka and Gabriel Martinelli, because when you have a world-class player competing for your position, you know that you have to be at the top of your game. Just look at Man City, they've got world-class players at Sterling, but they also have Mahrez, they also have Bernardo Silva, then they go inside a £100 million player like Jack Grealish. If Arsenal wants to be on that sort of level, you have to sign world-class players, even if you've got players already in that position. But this, of course, is a transfer all about the if, buts and maybes. Can Arsenal secure Champions League football? Is he going to renew his contract at Bayern? There would be so many aspects involved in a potential transfer, so I'm not going to come out and say this is definitely going to happen, but what I will say is if Arsenal do get Champions League football, don't rule out the possibility. But now I think it's time I throw it to you guys to discuss down below below in the comments. Talk to me about Serge Gnabry. Do you think he's a player that Arsenal can sign in the first place? Can we attract him? And if so, is he a player that you guys would like to see Arsenal sign? Don't call me deluded, I'm just simply asking the question. It is stat time of the day. Bukayo Saka at 20 years and 182 days is the youngest player to score 20 goals in all competitions for Arsenal since Cesc Fabregas in 2007. Bukayo Saka is setting high standards with 13 goals and assists in the Premier League this year. That's the highest of any under 21 player. Mikel Arteta, speaking on Saka, has said, "I think Bukayo had an experience in the summer that not a lot of players would ever have. And I think it was great for his career because the football world showed how much they like him and how much they respect him." This is definitely not spoken about enough of how much pressure was on Bukayo Saka's shoulders. Missing the final penalty of a Euros final in your home country. So many players could have collapsed. You look at how Marcus Rashford's playing, you look at how Sancho had a slow start. But Saka has only gotten better since then. He's grown in arrogance, he's grown in confidence, and overall has become a far more complete player that is still under the age of 21. You even have Thomas Partey speaking on Saka saying, "We all know what he is doing. He is one of the best young players in the world now. I think he is doing a great job. I hope he stays with us for a long time and does what he can and tries to take this team far." The players that Arsenal have, the potential these guys have, it is crazy, and that's why you have so many Arsenal fans exciting for the future. My question to you guys is, how good of a player do you think Bukayo Saka is going to be, and what do you think he can achieve at Arsenal Football Club? Martin Odegaard has come out and said, "I feel like I'm home now. I've had time to settle down. For the last 5 years, I've been all over the place with loans here and there. So I feel like I've finally got that stability and that calmness I needed, and I am really happy." Martin Odegaard is a player that seems like he's needed the right manager, the right team, the right location, the right environment, the love from the fan base, and he's now receiving that at Arsenal Football Club. And he's a player that once he gets that, you can see what quality he has. Whether it's getting goals, getting assists, dictating the final third, the age profile, the captain of his country, this guy has a tremendous potential and hopefully achieves that at Arsenal Football Club. Speaking on Mikel Arteta, Odegaard says, "I have never experienced a manager who is so sharp on details and small things in the game. He helps me a lot. I think it is fascinating and I try to get as many tips as possible. Right from the start, I had a great sense for him." Martin Odegaard is playing for Mikel Arteta, and I think there's no coincidence why there's so many quotes of Arteta alluding to Martin Odegaard as a potential future Arsenal captain. But my question to you guys is, do you think that Martin Odegaard has what it takes to become a future Arsenal captain? Moving on, let's discuss the latest Arsenal injury news. Arsenal actually do have a near fully fit squad, which is things you love to see, but there are two very key absentees that didn't play in the game against Watford. And Arsenal say the reason why they weren't involved in the match squad was Tomiyasu had a calf injury and Emile Smith Rowe had COVID. This is actually going to be very important for Arsenal because looking at the way that Arsenal are playing right now, the form we're in, the quality of the games that we're playing, the football we're playing, we're doing that without two potential first team starters. Looking at right back, I think Cedric has been decent in the absence of Tomiyasu, but Tomiyasu is definitely a level above. And when he's back to full fitness, he will give Arsenal the extra edge defensively, but also going forward, he is so important to the Arsenal build-up. And even looking at Emile Smith Rowe, let's not forget, this guy is Arsenal's top goal scorer within the Premier League. So just think to yourselves of how good this Arsenal team has been without the top goal scorer and the starting right back. And then think about how good they will be once they add them back in to the first team. But talking about the Arsenal first team, let's talk Alexandre Lacazette. Because here's a stat which shows Premier League assists per 90 minutes so far this year, which shows that Lacazette ranks 3rd in the Premier League behind only Michael Olise and Paul Pogba. Lacazette, as it stands, is averaging a Premier League assist every other game, and with the 7 Premier League assists that he has, that is more than Bruno Fernandes and Kevin De Bruyne. Arsenal fans would like to see him score more goals, and I definitely think he can improve on that behalf, but at the same time, you have to say he is contributing, he is showing signs of what he is offering Arsenal Football Club. He's become that fulcrum in that final third, the assist king in that final third, laying off balls to Gabriel Martinelli and Bukayo Saka. He allows for those players to also excel, and you know what, for that he deserves credit. Mikel Arteta, speaking on Thomas Partey, says, "When you assess yourself in the way that Thomas did publicly, it's a really rare thing to do. He did it because he believes that was the case, that he wants to give much more to the team and to the club, and probably that's why something has clicked." Ever since he came out with the interview where he rated his Arsenal career 4 out of 10, Thomas Partey has been fantastic, and he was once again on fire yesterday, winning more duels with 8, completing more take-ons with 3, and won more aerial duels with 3 than any other Arsenal player. He also completed the most passes on the pitch with 69. I think us Arsenal fans are now starting to see what Thomas Partey is on a consistent basis. A player that is great at picking out incisive forward passes into that final third, allowing Xhaka to also attack into that final third and doing his defensive duties pretty well. And I will go as far as saying since that 4 out of 10 interview, he has doubled his rating, and since that interview alone, he has been an 8 out of 10 player on a consistent basis. But what do you guys make of Thomas Partey, and are you guys now starting to see signs of why Arsenal paid that £50 million price tag? Okay, let's move on to the other Arsenal news today. And starting off with the Arsenal Hell and Lonely firing down there in League One, we're talking Brook Norton-Coffey. As a few days ago, Norton-Coffey scored his first goal for Lincoln City, also his first ever senior goal. You also recently had the Lincoln City manager come out and say, he's a player that personally, and I don't like singling out too many people, but I will be amazed if he doesn't play in the Premier League. Now, Brook Norton-Coffey is a right back and he's excelling on a week in week out basis down there in League One. Now, I understand it's a lower league, but it is actually very important for him to go down there to excel, to start 30 minutes, and to come back to Arsenal Football Club as a far better physical profile. And the reason why that's very important is because so many Arsenal fans, I guess, want to see a brand new right back signing to accommodate Takehiro Tomiyasu. Maybe, just maybe, that guy might just be Brook Norton-Coffey. Gary Neville says he is still confident that Man United can finish in the top 4, saying, I think Man United could do it, I still don't trust Arsenal fully. Since this quote has come out, it's caused a lot of controversy in social media, with a lot of Arsenal fans saying, what does he see in Man United that he doesn't see in Arsenal Football Club? But personally speaking, when I watched the interview, I wasn't surprised. And the reason behind that is because I think so many of these pundits are too scared to admit that they were so wrong in Arsenal Football Club. They were mocking Arsenal for their transfers, the signings that we made, the money that we spent. Forget about the Champions League. They were putting us down there in the UEFA Conference League. But now we're in March and Arsenal are sitting in the top 4, 1 point clear with 3 games in hand. I don't think these guys can take it. I don't think they want to admit they were so wrong on Arsenal Football Club. And here is a stat which proves how good Arsenal have been, saying they've picked up 25 points over the last 10 matches. That's their best haul over a 10-game period since October 2015. So Arsenal are not only enjoying the best form in over 6 years, but surprise, surprise, that was back when Arsenal were a Champions League club. And that form has been so good that looking at the European form guide, with 25 points in the last 10 games, they are joint with Man City with the most informed teams in Europe. That is above the likes of Paris Saint-Germain, Bayern Munich, Liverpool. Arsenal have put their form together, they've put in consistent performances, and they've taken massive strides towards the Champions League. But talking about the Champions League, let's get an update. As today you had Tottenham Hotspur beat Everton 5-0 at home. But looking at how that leaves the table, they still sit in 7th place, 3 points behind Arsenal, and have played a game more. Looking at that performance, some Arsenal fans might get a bit worried, but this is Tottenham. They are such an inconsistent team, and they've also got some very hard games upcoming. And the next 2 games are Man United away, and then it's Brighton away. And let's not also forget that we have that massive North London derby still looming that is still yet to be rescheduled, that we played at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. It's not going to be easy, and Conte's team are still going to pose Arsenal a threat. But as it stands, Arsenal have taken a stranglehold of that top 4. We have a massive game next Sunday. It's Leicester City at home. If we can win that game, we will further assert ourselves in the race for the Champions League places. But that is the video there and there. If you guys have enjoyed, make sure to go down there and smash a like on the video, and also to subscribe to the channel if you are new. If you would like to follow your boy on them social medias, then the links will be down below in the description. But that was all of the latest Arsenal news today, so I hope you guys have been informed as always, that you guys have enjoyed, you guys are living life, you're smiling, and I will see you guys next time. Take care, and in a bit.